Hold on a sec. This is not right. Oh man. All my audio's coming through my speakers, not my...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but through my speakers, which is not a good thing. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. This should switch it up. Let me... Oh, there's so many options. There we go. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that was an easy fix. Yay. All right, I think you're already recording. I don't know if this is... I believe this is recording video as well, but I don't, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've used this software. I believe it is. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
It's not recording yet.
Oh yeah, it's recording. My software, it's different than the one that Dead Greed uses. Mine records as soon as you answer the phone.
Oh,
As
really?
soon as you answer the call, yeah, it starts
Mine,
recording.
mine doesn't have that little red bar at the top saying instant recording.
Mine's the sneaky software.
Yeah.
No, I use I don't even know how you say this. Spelled Evaer. Ever. I don't
Okay.
know. It's one of the higher rated Skype recorders. So I just like it because I don't have to mess with it because I have it set up to it. The software doesn't even open until I open Skype, and the software automatically comes up with it. And then as soon as I start a call, it immediately starts recording. And then as soon as I hang up the call, it prompts me and um, lets me know it just dropped the file in a specified file location.
Gotcha.
So it's very very useful. I like it. Did I set that new file location though? Since I... Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, good stuff. All right, well, we're recording. All right, I'm gonna turn the TV volume down. I don't know if you can hear that in the background or not.
Yeah, you can.
You can. All right. Let me change that. How's that? Better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Alrighty. Now, last thing, turn the volume off on my phone so we're not rudely interrupted.
Last week it was my mom called at this time.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. All right, you ready? This is going to be a
I,
good episode.
I believe so.
All right. Well, here we go. Also, I like your fish tank. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
All right. See if I can get this right my first try. Showing 3, 2. Coming to you from the dark recesses of the proverbial Dawn Forge pouch. This is episode 202 of the Shattered Soulstone. Houston has the problem. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at bit.ly/Shattered Soulstone 2019. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player. It's March 17th, 2019, and this is your main man, Dead Psych. This is this is West Portillo. And today I've got Shazam with me.
What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Dead Greed is not here today. He's on vacation. He's in Houston. They have the problem now. So,
Yeah, we don't have it this week.
yeah, we don't have to deal with it. So, um, I guess we can start this show off the way we normally do in weeks in gaming. What have you been up to this week?
I started the week. I was like, I wanted to get back into Diablo 3, and I got the 1600 Paragon, and then like I just worked and worked and worked all week, considering like a few weeks ago that I had to take weeks of work. Oh, not weeks of work, but day off of work. So like my paycheck got screwed up. So I had to make up for it this last week. So I worked like 55, 56 hours. So it kind of cut into my video gaming.
I
But
guess.
I did get 1600 Paragon. And then, like, I don't know, 3 days that last week, I didn't game at all. And then Friday comes, and I just kept thinking about it and kept thinking about it. And I played the original Division, and I thought it was all right up until like the expansions came out, and I didn't really care for it, so I quit playing it and quit playing Xbox in general. But I picked up the Division 2 on PC, and I played it Friday, Saturday, and a little bit today, and just been leveling up and stuff like that, and getting killed like hundreds of times. Other than that, I'm just trying to get used to playing a shooter again, and this is like the first shooter I've played on PC in probably 10 or 15 years. So yeah, that's basically all I've done this week.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually never played the Division games. They have interested me, especially when the Division 1 came out. Like, oh man, it was everybody was really excited for it and it looked awesome. I don't know why I didn't end up getting it. I don't know. I honestly forgot. I'd like to play it. I'd like to see what's going on. How did how'd the Division 2 hold up to the first one?
I would say it's better.
Good.
Um, I don't know if you know like any of the details about it, but it's an RPG shooter. So if you get a different backpack, it could have crit hit damage or crit hit chance on it or cooldown reduction and gloves and like the whole 9 yards. Like everything you wear could have like
Okay.
all that stuff on it or skill power and stuff like that. It's pretty in depth that way, so you can like you know build a character for one specialization, stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Sounds like it. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I might have to check that out actually. I don't know why it like flew off the radar for me for so long. Huh. All right. Well, and congrats on the 1600 Paragon. That's just insane, man. Like I
Yeah,
out of season, I'm like what Paragon like 1083 or something like that, and I feel so strong. I can only imagine how you feel. Oh, and your out of season is over 2000 now, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I can
Yep.
only imagine that.
I'll probably be 2,500 at the end of this season.
Man, that's got to be a good feeling. It's got to be. How does it feel at the beginning of a season? Like, uh, I mean, I know everybody resets, and everybody's not at their, uh, you know, power level like the season before. But with Paragon, it's a little different, especially once you break 800 and you're just dumping stuff into your primary stat. How does that feel for you going in from like 15, 1600 Paragon, having all that extra uh, primary stat to just having nothing again at the beginning of a season?
Um, Honestly, the beginning of the season, I really don't care about Paragon. I just want to get like my 6 piece bonus,
Hmm.
and then try and get like the highest Paragon possible. I mean, not Paragon, but greater Rift possible.
Yeah.
And usually it's around like between 75 and 85, depending on the gear I get. And then I like grinding that level. Like if I can do it in 10 minutes or less, that's great. But then like the satisfaction of getting like 10 to 15 or 20 Paragon like every time you do a greater rift,
Oh
and
yeah.
you just continuously do that. Like you get 10, you do 10 and you have like hundreds of Paragon already, and you're just, that's, to me, that's the best feeling in the world. I don't care about doing hundreds then. I just care about getting as much Paragon with as little greater rifts as possible.
Hmm.
Because the beginning of the season, I hate grinding keys because I don't have the gear for it,
Yeah.
and it's just so crappy to try and run around the Nephilim Rift to get 2 keys,
Hmm.
and I don't know. Later in the season, you can do it in like 3 minutes and get 2 keys, but if it takes you 6 minutes, you're like, I could have done a greater rift in this time and got more out of it.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, actually. Well, one, what do you farm keys with your demon hunter, or does it depend on who your other character is that you're running the season?
I farm keys on my demon hunter. I use multi shot. I use fire.
Okay, so like
Um,
the fire EU,
yeah,
UE.
yep,
Gotcha. Um, and um, when you're grinding for keys, do you stop uh at every elite you kill and pick up the death's breath, or do you just
absolutely.
blow past it? Okay.
I have to pick it up because later in the season, when you're using death breath to get, personally, I use it to get weapons. If you do it to get shields or anything other than weapons or amulets, I think it's a waste because Kadala's stuff's 25 blood shards. So if Death's Breath, if you use that to get 75 or 100, blood shard stuff, that's better, better all around for you and than, you know, doing the cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
More efficient.
Yep. Yeah, because this week I've actually played quite a bit of Diablo this week. I've tried to play every day. Um, missed a couple days, but uh, I have gotten a bit of time in. I was playing earlier today too, and a lot of what I've been doing is doing riffs and greater riffs. The greater riffs just kind of lower, staying around greater rift 60. I can do much higher, but I'm grinding out getting uh leveling up gems to augment later. Just jumping them up to 50 as fast as I can. And with a greater rift 60, which is the equivalent of T13, I'm not gonna. I think my fastest time was like a minute and 41 seconds.
Oh,
I'm staying between a minute and 40 and like just under 2 minutes consistently. Um,
yeah,
but when I do a normal rift, when I'm grinding for keys, I'm doing like my lowest time is like 3 minutes. Like, just because I've I'm using the whirlwind build, uh, the whirlwind barb, and it's not set up for full speed, but I've got it on like half speed and a lot more damage. Um, so I can run through it really fast. I'm not having trouble killing anything or anything, but the whirlwind build is a lot of it's kind of momentum based as far as just movement goes. You don't really need to build up your damage too much, so it's not like momentum like that. But I've got to stop whirlwinding and stop moving to pick up Death's Breath. and that's slowing me down. It's adding like a minute to every to every rift just to stop and grab Death's Breath.
If you time it correctly, you could literally pick Death's Breaths up and keep going, but that takes a lot of practice. I don't know
Mm,
with a whirlwind barb, but I've seen. Um, I found this out a couple seasons ago when I watched Quinn do it. He could literally teleport with a monk, kill elites, and not even stop and pick up the Death's Breaths and keep going.
jeez,
Like that's how efficient that guy was.
that's crazy. Yeah, I've not mastered that, and like I maybe I could maybe I should practice that with like my uh, I don't know, my less speedy variation. Um, because my movement speed, the whirlwind barb goes so fast. I can't imagine being able to pick it up without stopping
Yeah.
because the movement speed is ridiculous. So, but like a normal speed barb, because I switched out some things today to jump up higher greater rifts. So far, I've cleared a greater rift 81 with the whirlwind barb with the switches or with the changes I made today. But I did it in just over 5 minutes. I know I can push further. I can probably get at least 85 or 86. But I know that's not too high, but for a whirlwind barb, I am perfectly fine with that. I mean, I never would have expected a whirlwind barb to even be able to push up this high, but I like the build. I don't know. I haven't really figured out exactly what I'm doing the rest of this season. I was just gonna screw around with the whirlwind barb and push it as high as I can. I don't know if I'll clear higher than 100, but when I play with people, I just switch to a support build so I can do like Greater Rift 100 and whatnot with them. But uh, the changes that I made today to give myself the extra boost to be able to go higher than 80 um is I actually switched out my I was wearing the was it depth diggers pants. It's when you're moving, your damage and primary resource regeneration goes up by 25%, but when you're standing still, they drop by 25%.
Is that the hexing pants?
Oh, yeah, yep, you're right. The hexing pants, not depth diggers. Yeah, I was wearing those because you're constantly moving with the barb or with the whirlwind barb, so and 25% extra damage is good. So I took those off today and put on the Wrath of the Wastes legs, and then removed the chest piece for the armor set and replaced it with the Aquila Cuirass. Um, because with the Whirlwind Barb, you pretty much stay at max Fury constantly. Your Fury generation is higher than your spending, so it gives me my 50% increased damage reduction, which is just huge, and that was uh, immediately a noticeable difference. And I didn't even come close to dying on that Greater Rift 81. Um, I sacrificed a little bit of damage, but it wasn't too noticeable, especially seeing as how the build pretty much runs on the Bane of the Stricken. As long as you can survive, as long as your survivability is okay, and you can just keep racking up stacks in the Bane of the Stricken, it doesn't like your base damage doesn't matter too much because essentially that's where all your damage output's coming from. So it just makes it, I mean, the higher your base damage, the faster it scales. So it matters, but it's not, I don't know. Taking a 25% hit to my base damage wasn't as big a deal as I thought it would be.
Would you use Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose then?
Uh, no, I would like to, but there are some rings that are pretty much needed. Um, because, um, oh, what ring am I using in my cube actually? I don't know. You pretty much need the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, so you can keep Ignore Pain and Wrath of the Berserker off cooldown.
Yeah.
Um, then you need to run the Unity for that 50% damage reduction with the follower. Then what is the other ring I'm using? Oh, then you need the Skull's Grasp because it increases whirlwind damage by 400%. So I sorry what?
If you sacrifice the Unity, wouldn't a Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose be the same thing, or
Yeah,
am I looking at it wrong?
no, it'd be the same thing. If I was running with a group of people, I would definitely choose the Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose over it. But playing solo, I'd take the Unity just because it frees up an amulet socket.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, it'd pretty much give the same thing. And speaking of amulet socket, another change I made to my build today was just awesome. It was a huge boost. And this was before, or this was after I cleared 81. Actually, I'm pretty sure I found the amulet in the 81 rift. I got a primal Ouroboros amulet.
Wow.
And first off, just a normal Ouroboros, not even ancient. I've got such a hard time getting rid of those because they've got a high chance of rolling with a socket, a high chance, pretty much 100% chance of rolling with your primary stat, and I always find them with high crit chance and high crit damage, like pretty much already on them. Like it's finding a really, really good Ouroboros is very easy. They're really hard to replace. Well, I found a primal one today that rolled just that a socket, 1000 strength, 100% crit damage, 10% crit chance. It increased my damage output by 17%.
Wow.
So I'm like, I can't pass that up. I have to wear that. It was such a huge boost. So, and like I said, I haven't. I'm pretty sure I found that in the Great Rift 81. So now I've got to run and see how much better I can do now that I have that as well.
Yeah,
But
you augment that, and you'll be above 20% for that thing.
oh yeah, oh man, that's something I need to do. Is I need to get my support gear on. I need to throw it in the armory. Actually, I haven't done that yet. I have the full support build for the barb. I have not put it in the armory, so I can't just hot swap to it. I need to get that together and then jump in with you guys or something, do some really high greater rifts so I can level up my gems to where they need to be. Cuz I'm also still running with all the gems, all the legendary gems in my gear are level 70. And I've got one augment and the augment is like 51, I think, or 61 maybe. And that was I just threw that in there specifically for the season journey.
Wow.
So yeah, I I've got some things that I need to do then,
Yeah.
and I can make this build way stronger than it is. But um, also I'm having no luck finding ancient pieces to this build at all. I'm just uh, I've put so many blood shards into Kadala for helm, gloves, and shoulders. I think I need boots too. I I've been dumping all of them into her thousands, and I'm not getting anything from her. She's not being nice to me this season.
Yeah, she wasn't nice to me on my multi-shot set either.
Yeah, it's tough running into this problem, but anywho, what I've been doing this week in gaming is pretty much just running rifts and greater rifts, getting those getting my as many gems up to 50 as I can, getting ready to augment them and whatnot. Doing that. Um, leveled up a few times. I'm at Paragon 735 now. Uh, I'm pretty much content. Uh, I want to break 800 this season. I've done it once before, and made me really happy. So I want to do it. It's not unreasonable. I've got plenty of time, and I'm really close as it is. And I haven't been in any super high rifts this season. So as soon as I do that, I'm gonna have no problem getting there. Um, let's see. Um, oh, I got Guardian. I did that today. I was kind of unnerving how easy that was this season, but I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it at all, though I happened to be in the right place at the right time for a couple conquests. It's like I was running with Dead Greed, and was it you or Rona? We happened to be running like a bounty set early on. Like this was maybe the second week of the season, and we happened to run into the Cursed Pete.
I
So
think I was might have been me because we did the Curse Pete all together. I just can't remember who we did it with.
gotcha. Yeah, we ran into it super early and knocked that conquest out immediately. And then the other conquests this season were easy. Get your legendary gems, or 3 legendary gems to 65 or higher, and then clear uh, a T10 regular rift in under 2 minutes. Which, I mean, I'm clearing T13 rifts in under 2 minutes, so it's it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing. Um, I'm pretty sure I've got my last stash tab too. My stash is finally maxed out, I guess you could say. But that's about it. Uh, we'll say what do you value more in a because I'm gonna start running higher grade rifts with people, and I'll be in the Shattered Soulstone chat more probably this week. When I'm on, I'll be in there. And would you rather? I've got 2 support builds going this season. One, the support charge barb, and the other one's um, the rat support, um, or rat run support necro. So, do you want increased damage or do you want better defense? Like, which do you think would be more useful when playing in a group with people?
More damage.
More damage, so running with the necro be more useful.
The like we were doing, I think 115s or something like that. We were. I think we'd have been better off if we had more damage. To be honest with you, because I don't know. I don't. I don't ever remember running with a charge barb that was um, support. And I don't ever remember when Rona ran Necro support. I always like we always just used Monk, and that was just you just stood in a circle and hoped the circle never never lifted or he would be dead.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and I find the support necro because I do have that one all set up and I've used it already. It's pretty fun to play, honestly. It's not bad. It's massive AOE, freezing people, and for a support build, it actually does a reasonable amount of damage too, because of um the corpse lances just going on everybody. I'm debuffing them. That's the purpose of using the corpse lance. But it kind of auto casts when I consume a corpse because you use 2 pieces of the pestilence set,
Yeah,
and it's uh, I don't know. It's surprisingly damaging. It wouldn't be useful in like a higher grade rift than maybe 60, but for like T13, I mean, it's reasonable, I guess. But I guess moving on, we've got two emails. Which is awesome. Two episodes in a row where we have two emails. I'm very happy with that. It's nice to know we have listeners. Um, but the first one, you want to get the first one, or you want me to?
You can do the first one.
All right. So the first one's from King Tut. Says, I'd like to hear everybody's theory on how Shazam really threw out his back, because we know it wasn't getting into bed. My theory was it was a combination of two things. One, he used bit.ly/Soulstone 2019 to download a free audiobook called Kama Sutra, and two, he found a nice guy slash gal uh for some Netflix and chill watching We Never Want We Never Went to the Moon documentary that led to the bedroom. So what do you have to say about that, Shazam?
I've gotten my free audio book, I don't know, about 9 or 10 months ago. So it's definitely not number one. And number two, since since I had a girl take about $15,000 out of me, I haven't had a girl to watch Netflix or anything at my apartment, and nor a guy. So yeah, it wasn't that either.
Gotcha, gotcha. Hmm. Well, I hadn't given it any thought until I read this email, so I don't know. My best theory is that um maybe you screamed Shazam a little too vigorously, and during your transformation, you threw something out.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. That's the only thing I got. Oh, speaking of that, did you hear that the Shazam movie is having a 2 week early release for a two showing thing, just like they did with Aquaman?
Nice.
Yeah, if anyone's interested in that, I don't know if they're still available now, but I don't know. You'd have to look it up online. A buddy of mine told me about it. I didn't really.
I
I'm
should
just gonna wait till the movie comes out.
I should go to the comic book store and beg them for a early showing pass.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. um. All right, you want to get the second email, or you want me to get it? This one's pretty long.
Yeah, go ahead and get it.
All right. All right, this one's from Jairus. I don't think we've gotten an email from Jairus before, so thank you ahead of time, Jairus, for your email. It's nice and long and awesome. It says, "Hi guys and Jen, Jairus here. Congratulations on the 200th episode. I've been listening to the Shattered Soulstone podcast for a long time now, and I'm glad all of you have stayed with the podcast. It's probably not easy to take time out of or time. Yeah, I can't talk. To take time out to make the podcast and do all the work it takes to get it online. I downloaded it and listened to it when playing D3. Thanks so much for keeping the podcast going, and please keep up the good work." Uh, Thank you very much, Jairus. We do the best we can, and yeah, it's not easy sometimes, but uh, we try to deliver for our fans and listeners. This is not a criticism, but it seems that Cool Story Bro has given up, and West March Workshop only does a podcast once in a while now. And a huge thank you to Jen also for Jen's Lore Corner. I really look forward to them. Jen, please keep them going. They're all great. A question or two, if I may. Is the music that you play during the podcast from Diablo 2? It does sound like it. And why did you pick that Diablo music? Well, to answer that, I'm not gonna lie. I actually I haven't thought about it in so long that I actually had to go listen to the last episode of the podcast again and pay attention to the background music to answer your question here. um, it is Diablo 2 music. It's Diablo 2 soundtrack. Um, uh, I don't know if every song on there is from Diablo 2, but I know most of them. When I skimmed through it earlier today to answer this question, most of them were. They're just from different areas. Some are in town, some are, when you're out in the jungle uh, and throughout all the acts. And uh, I'm going to venture to guess to the second part of this question as to why we picked the Diablo 2 soundtrack, because to be perfectly honest, we've been using this soundtrack since before I came on the show. So our editor or our editors, um, I don't know if it was a decision by them or if it was a collaboration decision from the original hosts of the show. But if I were to guess, it's because Diablo 2 has a really nice soundtrack that um, changes and is really smooth, and it's not super distracting, but it is. Uh, I don't know. I think it's respectable. As far as the Diablo 1 soundtrack, if we were to use that, um, it's not as smooth in a way. The transitions aren't as good, even though I still love the soundtrack. And it's much darker. It's got a much darker feel, and it's not as extensive as the D2 soundtrack is. Um, but it's still really solid. But and then Diablo 3 wasn't out back when um no it wait. I don't know why any of the Diablo 3 soundtrack wasn't included. I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to the editors. Good question though. I'm just guessing on the second part of that. Now to continue this email. Also, I've heard a lot about a game that Blizzard tried to make a while ago named Titan. According to some, it really hurt Blizzard and the people that work there. The result was Overwatch, which seems to be a financially successful game for Blizzard. Is there anything you can tell the curious among us about Titan? Was it like a Diablo game originally? Thanks. I will get back to that after I finish the email. I did look into that specifically for this show. Um, Here's my 2 cents about or on Diablo Immortal. First off, I won't be buying it. I don't play telephone games. That's respectable. But if the sales of Diablo Immortal allows Blizzard to make a successful Diablo 4 for the PC, then that's a good thing. I'm hoping for a great Diablo 4 game, one that incorporates the best from D2 Lord of Destruction, D3, and D3 the Reaper of Souls, and other great content we haven't seen in any of the Diablo games so far. Let's ho- let's hope we see this someday. Of course, I was disappointed about the lack of D4 announcement at the last BlizzCon, but I'm sure Diablo is working on a D4 for PC. We have to be patient. It's always taken Blizzard a long time to make a game. Just FYI, when I play Diablo, it's on PC and in solo mode for 99.9% of the time, which is why I'm only around Paragon low 500 something. And I still haven't been able to get the stash tab for this season. The only stash tabs I've been able to get so far are the ones I received from when I bought the Necro expansion, and the ones I got last season for completing Conqueror. My goal for this season is to get the stash tab, but so far I've only been able to do it once. Also, I've never completed Guardian and was able to do a Greater of 70 for the first time last season. I've not given or gotten any primals yet, even last season when I did clear Greater of 70. Uh, so I have a lot of things to do still, but I'll keep playing and keep trying. I still find this game enjoyable to play. Well, I've ranted enough. Thanks again for keeping the podcast going. Feel free to edit this email as you see fit. It's probably a bit of a bore. Take care, everyone. Dan, aka Jaris. Um, that email was awesome. It was not a bore. So please send in as many more as you want. We love hearing your feedback, anyone's feedback. It's really nice. Any questions? There are no stupid questions, in my opinion. Even if we've answered them tens of hundreds of times, I'm happy to answer the same question over and over. It doesn't matter. I like hearing from our listeners. Um, as far as your season, um, I mean, congrats on breaking 500. That's not a very simple task when you're playing 99.9% of your time solo. So congrats on that, and uh, good luck getting your conqueror this season. I believe in you. You can do it. Also, primals, yes, they are a huge pain to get unless you're Shazam. After, even after you clear Greater Rift 70, but luckily this season, once you do it, you get your first primal just for completing it. So, yeah, you'll have to let us know when you do that and what you get. Um, but good luck on this season. Still got a lot left. You can do it, man. Keep it going. Um, let's see. Is there anything else I was going to comment on before I brought up Titan? I like your opinion on Immortal. It's very respectable, and I agree that we've just got to be patient for D4. Something's coming, and it's Blizzard. It's going to be good. All right, now as for your question about Titan, I did some research about this when I saw the email, and here's what I came up with. I'm just going to read this from the article I found. Uh, well, I found this information on multiple articles, but I'm only going to use one because I don't feel like reading a bunch of stuff regarding this. But let's get through this quick. All right. Titan was the project name for a canceled Blizzard Entertainment massively multiplayer online game. With speculation regarding the game beginning in 2007, Blizzard revealed little information besides that it would be completely new and not be based on the company's then current three main franchises. The game was internally canceled by Blizzard in May 2013, though publicly they announced that the project would be delayed as they took the title in a different direction. Its official cancellation was made in September 2014. Internally, about 40 members of the Titan project used their developed assets to craft a new game which became Overwatch. The exact details of how Titan would have played are not known, but Blizzard's Jeff Kaplan, who served as the Titan development team and later became the director of Overwatch, identified that the game was a class based shooter game. Players would have selected a character from several classes, which granted them initial abilities as they progressed in the game. They would gain points to use to spend on skill trees for that character. Kaplan said that near the point of Titan's cancellation, the variety of skills they had in the game led to overpowered combinations and described the result as very cluttered and confused. Shortly after the cancellation announcement, Kotaku ran an article in which they described the game as a massively multiplayer PC game in which the players could both maintain non combat professions, and shoot their way through death matches on a sci fi version of Earth. According to the article, which was sourced by anonymous employees who worked on the project, the game would take place in a near future Earth where the player would take on a mundane job during the day and fight enemies at night. While Blizzard publicly stated that Titan has been delayed in May 2013 as they refocused its development, the game had already been canceled internally. Over the one of the 140 members on the Titan team, only 40 were kept in a group to develop a new uh, intellectual property, while the others were transitioned into other departments within Blizzard. The remaining Titan group of 40, which included Kaplan and Chris Metzen, were told they need to come up with a new idea in about 6 weeks, or otherwise they would be transferred into other departments. Taking inspiration from team-based shooters like Team Fortress 2 and the popularity of multiplayer online battle arenas, the team used some of the existing Titan assets to develop a prototype game where players could select predefined hero characters with different types of abilities and skills and face off uh, in team-based matches. Metzen also said that due to the recent failure of Titan, the group suffered from poor morale, but the idea of a team-based shooter invigorated them and helped to establish an optimistic narrative taking place in the near future of Earth, encompassing a range of diverse heroes and characters. The prototype game proved successful, and the team set off to develop what became Blizzard's fourth major IP, Overwatch. Some Overwatch assets can be traced to their Titan roots, such as the character Tracer, who originally was one of the skins available for the Jumper class in Titan, and the map Temple of Anubis that had been developed for Titan. Overwatch was formally announced on November 7th, 2014, and released May 24th, 2016. And that's all I know about Titan. um, yeah, it's interesting that I got this email and we did too, because I actually ran across Titan on Friday a couple days ago. Um, while I was looking at D1 stuff. Oh, speaking of something I forgot to mention in Weeks in Gaming, I actually I've been playing Diablo 1. I bought it from GOG, and I've been having fun on Diablo 1. That's about it. but um but yeah, that was a fantastic email. Thank you, Jaris. Uh that Yeah, it was awesome. Definitely enjoyed that. Good questions, by the way. Same to you, King Tut. Good question about Shazam and his personal life and so is there anything you would like to comment on Jairus's email? Anything that
I,
stood
f-
out to you?
I first heard about Titan back in 2007 when I played WoW, and back then it was supposed to be an MMO, but that's about all we knew about it.
Okay.
But the 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 people that had low morale for that run that project. Imagine working on something every day for like 5 6 days a week for 6 years, and then your boss goes, "We're just gonna take all this stuff and just throw it away. Um, we're gonna put you on something else to do." And the stuff that you've been working on for the last 6 years, nobody's ever gonna see. That would irritate the living crap out of me.
Yeah, that'd
You
be
know?
that that would be tough, man. Like psychologically, that would be really tough to deal with. So like you poured your heart and soul into a project for years, and then just all right, well we're scrapping it. Especially if you were one of those people who got moved to a different department of Blizzard after that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, hell, even if you were the one of the 40 people who stayed, um, it'd still be hard sifting through all that stuff and finding what's usable and what's not. And man, that'd be tough. That'd be really tough.
It's it's almost as bad as that lady that left EA after they canceled the Star Wars game. They said that like the last two or three of her projects got canceled, so she hasn't had anything released in like the last 10 years.
Damn.
And yeah, that would make me just want to quit the video game industry altogether.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
hear you.
she's like 50 now, so since you were 40, not Nothing's ever been released.
Wow. Man, that would suck. That'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I even working for?
Yeah.
Man. I can only imagine being in her position. I don't blame her for quitting. Try to find another company. Be like, look, if you're not going to release anything that I've, put time into, then why am I going to stay here? What? There's no purpose in this. But, man, crazy. All right. Well, you got any blue notes?
Um. No, not that I know of. Um. I heard that there's a rumor that Diablo Immortals. This might make people mad, but is preloadable in China.
Really?
I don't know. You know anything above and beyond that, but yeah, supposedly.
That's that's interesting, man. I'm still kind of hoping for my early access thing. I'd registered to get into the beta of it. I haven't heard anything about it though. I'm not sure, but it's been a while since we've heard anything about it. Do you know if they've released any new information?
I was told that the last thing that I heard about it is the what NetEase or whatever is done working on a project. It's all in Blizzard's hands right now, and that was last week, maybe the week before last.
Hmm.
But Blizzard hasn't said anything about it yet, so I don't. Other than that, we don't know anything else about Diablo Immortal, other than NetEase is done with it.
I see. See, I'm going to the website right now to see if they've posted anything on here. Uh, well, the main screen looks exactly the same as I left it. That's not helpful at all. What are the controls? Huh. I don't know where you would look to find more information about this. Huh. I don't know. Still in development. Cool.
I heard it from Riker. That's who I heard it from.
Oh, well, he has reliable sources, so I
Yeah.
trust him. Wish I had his sources. Man.
The,
Well, hmm?
the only blue note that you have posted, and I copied and pasted the link because it doesn't work on that document for some reason, is Netflix Diablo series is moving forward.
Yeah. This was posted by BlizzPro by Nineball.
Yeah. He
Um, Go ahead.
he he wrote, over the last week we've had some pretty strong evidence that Blizzard is moving forward with its rumored Diablo series being made for Netflix. Catch everyone up to speed, rumors began to to float around about the independent nerd news site. Revenge of the Fans reported that Netflix and Blizzard had begun talks about bringing a Diablo series to the popular streaming service after the tremendous success of Netflix's Castlevania series. In their article, they state that writer of the upcoming Hellboy remake, Andrew Cosby, is being tapped to help create the series. When asked about the rumor on Twitter, Cosby's only response was to say that if he were to work on a Diablo project, it would keep the series rated R. And it keeps going. Um, it says first up is the trademark registration filed on March 8th for Diablo downloadable films and movies featuring narrative based on a video game and provided via a video on demand service. So basically, Blizzard trademarked it so they can make a movie or a TV show on Netflix or Hulu or, you know, stuff like that for Diablo.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that when they made the rumor. When was that? Like,
So
set the date.
it's probably about this time last year, maybe a little bit later than this time, but it was pretty early.
Yeah. When I first heard that rumor, I honestly got excited. I'm like, I would be really stoked to see a Diablo series on Netflix. That'd be really cool, whether it's animated or not. Um, Definitely looking forward to it, and this uh seems to be what we've been waiting for. I mean, Andy Cosby even tweeted another thing, said it's killing me that I can't talk openly about my new super secret project because my new super secret project is just so freaking cool. Soon, very soon. So, yeah, oh man, I'm excited. I hope he's not lying. I hope it's actually soon. It's not like December this year when we finally hear something about it. But
I personally think since Blizzard completely screwed the pooch last year at BlizzCon, I honestly think other than a WoW expansion this year, I think BlizzCon's going to be nothing but Diablo.
that would be awesome. That would be really awesome.
Because you know there's a WoW expansion this year. There wasn't one last year, so you know it's coming this year. It's every other year.
Yep, you're right.
We're pre-programmed for that.
Well, this would be the year to go to BlizzCon then. Maybe that'll be the next trip I start saving my money for. I should do that actually. Maybe I can meet some fans. That'd be really awesome. All right. Well, um, no, that's all I've got for Blue Notes. You got anything for other media?
Other than I started yesterday, I started watching top 10 secrets and mysteries on Netflix, which basically every show it has a top. It's basically a top 10 list of like weird stuff, like oh, I don't know how to like like weird things. Like they had like top 10 like weird mummy things where they talked about I think like one of the top 10 was when they had the guy in Russia that died in the 20s. I can't think of his name. They had him mummified and set in the middle of the square in Moscow or whatever, so everybody could see him because he was like a predominant figure in the Soviet Union. They had all kinds of weird mummified people.
It was
And
just one episode.
yeah, it's just one episode. Like out west somewhere, they like they were trying to find gold somewhere, so they blew a hole, trying to make a mine, and they found some mummified like 14-inch tall I guess baby or fetus or something with like all these like razor teeth and so like all kinds of weird stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One episode talks about art heists, about I think I can't remember where it was, but some like they tied up a guard and stole like $50 million worth of art. I don't know how long ago it was. It was like the last 30 years or whatever, and
Mhm.
nobody has seen that art since then. So there's $50 million worth of art somewhere that only the people that stole it know where it's at.
That's nuts. That sounds like a show that's right up my alley. I like mysteries and unsolved things. I like watching those shows. I watch a lot of them on Hulu. Watched a few of them on Netflix too. That's one I have not. I'll definitely check that out.
Other than that, though, that's the only thing I've watched.
How many episodes are there to that?
I'm not 100% sure.
Gotcha. Um, as far as me for other media, I haven't really been. What have I been watching this week? I've been watching anything this week? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of um games done quick, like kind of reruns. I've mentioned it before on the show, like when um Games Done Quick is a charity event that they just do speed runs of games. Um, and well, they record everything and put it on YouTube. So I've just been watching, like, I don't know, years past, like years that I haven't seen. So I've just had that in the background or watched a little bit here and there when I have time to, and that's about all I've done really. Um, other than playing Diablo, been playing some board games. I've got a game called Tabletop Simulator, which is exactly what it sounds like, and some me and some buddies of mine just play board games and card games and stuff on there, and just have a good time. Um, what else? I think there was one more thing I was gonna mention. What was it? Oh, I've been debating kind of uh maybe trying out doing like a Diablo 1 speed run or even a Diablo 2 speed run because I've been playing Diablo 1 since I bought it this Friday a few days ago, and I'm I'm enjoying it. I really like that game. It was awesome because I as soon as I turned it on, I got really good luck with my first character, my first save, because as soon as you pretty much know there's a little bit of RNG in Diablo 1 when it comes to the beginning of the game and what missions you get. Sometimes you won't get the Butcher, sometimes you won't get uh, the Skeleton King, sometimes you won't get uh, the Tainted Well, and so far I've only played for like an hour and I got the Butcher and the Tainted Well right off the bat. So I'm I mean that's awesome right there. You get a really good legendary weapon in the second dungeon from the Butcher's Cleaver, and you get a really good ring from completing the well, from cleansing the well, and yeah, it's so far so good. I haven't gotten far enough to see if I've gotten the Skeleton King yet or not, but if I get the Skeleton King 2 and get all 3 of like the main missions on the first the first playthrough, ooh man, I'm gonna be happy. that's that's you know how rare that is? That's I don't think I've ever gotten all 3 at once. Generally I only get one, but I don't know. I just wanted to mention the Butcher. Just, I mean, first time I turned on the game on Friday after I installed it. Turn on the game, create a warrior, get to level 2, run to the Butcher, and you open the door and just fresh meat. And oh, it's such a nostalgic feeling. It's fantastic. It's way more scary, if you can even say that, than Diablo 3. And man, I remember his movement speed being ridiculous, but I completely forgot his attack speed was that was that fast. Uh in Diablo 1, for those of you who haven't played, when you get hit Because how it works is when you're attacking somebody, there's a chance to hit or miss. Um, it's a little more rudimentary than Diablo 3. The fact on base you have a 60% chance to hit. Well, in this game also, if you're attacking and you get hit during your attack animation, it kind of staggers you. It cancels your attack animation. And one thing that makes the butcher kind of difficult is he attacks really fast. And because of that, he hits you more than you hit him because you don't attack as fast as he does. And oftentimes he will cancel your attack. So it makes him just a pain. He's a huge pain, but he's awesome. I love the butcher. Diablo 1, the original. It's too good, man. Too good. But all right, there's my Diablo 1 rant. That's all I got. Maybe next weekend I'll have a story of how I beat it if I play that much. I'll probably play more Diablo 3 this week actually, so not sure.
I don't,
But
I don't see you speed running Diablo 2. That game takes a while to get through.
well, yeah. Uh I think the record, at least it was a while ago, is 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can get through Diablo 2. Hell, it's been on Diablo 2 has been on Games Done Quick for the last 2 years in a row. Somebody speedrunning it. This year they did it already at uh on in January. The dude ran with an Amazon, and then last year the same guy ran with a wizard. Apparently the wizard is the fastest because of teleport. That and you have a lot of AoE. Uh, well, you've got a bunch of Nova attacks, a bunch of different ones to choose from, and you have a bunch of different. I think he ran with like three different damage types. So like frost. I don't know. It's like frost, electric, and fire or something. So when he runs against the enemies that are resistant to those, he can switch. Um, and teleport is a little. It's teleport is pretty ridiculous in D2 compared to D3. Oh my god, there's no cooldown. It just costs mana, and as long as you stock up on mana potions, you just teleport. It's instantaneous. There's no animation for it. You just disappear and reappear. It's you can cover ground very quickly. With the Amazon, he got something that increased his movement speed. That was about it. But yeah, I guess if you really know the game, it's possible, but I've personally never beaten Diablo 2, so I don't know. I think I'd be more apt to beat Diablo 1 though, honestly. But I read a guide on how to speedrun Diablo 1 and it's ridiculous. You want to use the sorcerer class and then it's funny. It's like, okay, as soon as you boot up the game, you go to the to Adria, you dupe some gold, you get I think you do it until you have 60,000 gold, then you buy a specific staff from her and a specific spell, a couple town portals and a bunch of mana potions. And then you go, you go down, kill creatures until you're level 2, and then don't kill anything until you're down to level 12 because the one of the staffs you get is the staff of teleportation, and you're literally just teleporting past enemies down to dungeon level 12. Um, just avoiding everything. You don't want to attack anybody. You don't want to stop. You just want to get down there. Then once you get down there, you come back to town, go to Adria again. She's got a few more things you gotta buy. And then you go back down there, and then pretty much skip from 12 all the way down to Lazarus. There's a way to kill him pretty much instantly while he's still in his talking animation. Uh, you throw down a bunch of firewalls underneath his feet, and he'll actually take damage while he's still talking to you before he even starts to attack. And then as soon as he's done with his dialogue, he'll just die instantly, and then you teleport out of there, and then go into Diablo's area, Dungeon 16, and you get down there. He said, teleport to the corner of the room and to start throwing your firewall down there on Diablo. He said, there's a good chance you're gonna die, but if you get lucky, uh, he'll he'll die before he kills you. He said it depends on how much of a certain attack he does. But that's about it. It's like that sounds. I don't know what the timer is on that. I'm pretty sure it's like an hour or just over an hour. I'm like, man, you're literally just skipping the game.
So I take it like Diablo's levels based on your level then?
uh, no, not from my experience. His level. His level's pretty much set, I believe, and his damage is kind of set. When you level up in Diablo 1, um, you have you've got 4 stats, your strength, magic, dexterity, and vitality. Um, Technically, you don't have to put any points into vitality because he's not going to one-hit you. Um, it'll I mean, one hit will do a lot of damage to your health, but so you generally want to throw in some points into your vitality, but you don't have to. Uh, I don't know. It's pretty much. I think one thing I left out of there. Once you go back to town the first time after you get to level 12, once you jump back to level 12, you want to level until you're level 10. And then so technically you're level 10 when you fight Diablo. And also, one of the things that you help uh, mitigate his damage output is you use a spell. I believe it's called Spell Shield, and it just gives you a magic. It's like an absorb shield from D3.
Yeah.
So I guess you just keep casting that so he doesn't actually hurt your health. Also, there's a mechanic in Diablo 1 that I had no idea existed. Apparently, if you are low health, like 1 or 2 HP, then attacks no longer stagger you. So I don't know why that is, but if you get down to 1 or 2 HP and then you have an absorb shield up, uh, with that you're supposed to have up at all times with this character or during this speed run, um, then it still counts as you having low health, so you don't get staggered, and then you won't just die having that low health because of your absorb shield. So I don't know, but like I said, I don't think he scales. I could be wrong, but I don't think he scales. I'm pretty sure it's set. Um, though when I beat the game, I think I was only level maybe 21, 22, but I don't remember how much I invested in Vitality. Hell, actually, I'm pretty sure I invested more in Vitality already in this playthrough than I did before the last one.
Is there a max level in that game?
Yes. Max level's 99, and you've got to beat the game so many times to get to level 99. It's not even funny.
Because I remember back in the '80s, I played the game Dragon Warrior, and you can go and beat the game at like level, I think it was like 20 or something like that.
Hmm.
And it was like hard. You'd have to, basically use all your mana and stuff, healing yourself and doing damage to this dragon. But if you just sat there and farmed like 5 or 6 more levels, it made the game so much easier at the end because you had way more hit points, way more mana, and you did more damage. But like the max level in that game was like 26 or 30 or something like that. So there was a hard cap on
Oh,
that game.
okay.
So we figured that out whenever we were single digit age. We were like, well, if we could kill this guy at 20, what it gives you it tells you how much experience you need to level again. Like, how long till you can't level anymore? You know.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
so that's when we just farmed it even longer until we found out the max level cap.
Yeah. That. Man, I wish the Diablo 1 level cap was that low because, like, I mean, 99, it's ridiculous. Though, for those of you who don't know, in Diablo 1, um, it is incredibly hard to beat the game without restarting the game. Now, in Diablo 1, they've got a mechanic that when you say you create a warrior and you get him to dungeon level 9 and you get his character level to level 10. Um, if you click new game on that character, it won't reset your character's items or level or anything. It just restarts the storyline, but you keep that character's progression. I never knew that growing up. So when I was playing it like for years back, I don't know, in 2001, 2002, actually I think I started in 99. But back when I was playing back then, I didn't know that, so the game was way harder. Even now, it's still really hard to beat the game in just one run. I guess unless you're doing a speed run, but without resetting the game. Um, so when I beat the game last a couple years ago, I think I reset the game at I got down to level 3. I think I reset the game 3 times because I needed to get Leoric's crown and I wasn't getting the Skeleton King mission, so I had to reset the game 3 times until I got that mission. Then you get to dungeon level 9 where things start picking up and things become much harder to kill. Then you gotta I restarted again to level up more and get better gear. Then after that, I up to level 12, restarted the game again at level 12, and then after that, I believe I ended up finishing the game at that point. So I restarted the game, what, 5 or 6 times, and even then, I was only level like 21, between 21 and like maybe 26, sometime or some area between there. And also in Diablo 1, enemies do not respawn ever. Even if you shut the game off and restart the game, enemies do not respawn. If you killed them, they're dead. So to grind it out, you literally have to restart your game and work your way back down through the dungeons. So it's and the level cap being 99, I've read online that it's not even really worth doing it because the amount of time it takes you to get to level 99 and stuff is just it's not. I don't know. It's not really worth it. But also, in Diablo 1, you cannot reset your skill points. In Diablo 2, you can do it once at least. But in Diablo 1, once you set your skill points, they're set forever until you restart a new character. So, yeah, it's uh yeah, there are good and bad things about the game. I'll admit that. I don't know. It's tough, but good. All right, I did not expect to be talking about Diablo 1 for that long. Gonna be honest with you. Well, that's all I got for this show. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. I will close the show out. All right. You've been listening to episode 202 of the Shattered Soulstone, your Diablo community podcast. Missed an episode? You can find the show blog and listen to the show archives at www.shatteredsoulstone.com. With your support, you can help the show grow. Become a patron today, patreon.com/soulstone. Come join us in-game or in-game community and clan, both named Shattered Soulstone, are open to anyone who would like to join. You can also join us on Discord for the ultimate team and community-based experience. Find the Discord invitation link on our Twitter and Facebook page, as well as on the Shattered Soulstone website. This show is powered by you, the listener. Send in your contributions, thoughts, questions, and feedback to show@shatteredsoulstone.com. We love Twitter. Come join and tweet with us. You can find the show Twitter @shatteredsoulstone. Wesper is @wespertilio1189, and Deadgreed is @deadgreed1812. You can find the show Facebook page at facebook.com/shatteredsoulstone and Wespertilio at facebook.com/wespertilio1189. We would like to extend a huge thank you to Medros of Dawnforge Productions for hosting our Loot Deviant show. You can find more shows from the Dawn Forge at www.thedawnforge.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, from all of us here at the Shattered Soulstone, over 201 episodes for your listening pleasure. Dawn Forge!
On Forge.
Man, I'm getting that outro down, man.
Yeah.
It's only taken years. Oh, man. I should have done the outro in Dead Greed's voice, too. Wonder what he's gonna have to say about that.
Gonna say he barely does the outro anyway.
Yeah, that's true. When I'm not there, does he have you do the outro?
No, I make him do it.
Nice. Oh man.
But if anybody else is on, they do the outro.
Yeah. I gotcha. Well, that was a good episode. I'm happy with that one. It was longer than I thought it would be, honestly.
Yeah, it's better than like episodes, but when it's like the last minute and we do one and it's like 20, 30 minutes long and we're like, yeah, there's nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like that we're getting, especially the last 2 episodes, we've gotten several emails, because that gives us a lot more to talk about, and I like hearing the feedback. It's really nice. So,
it seems like the last I don't know 2 weeks or so that we've gotten like 2 more people that have been regulars in Discord, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, I know King Tut. Who's the other one?
Who the hell is the other one? Dorius, I think. Dorus, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've been getting some interesting messages on Discord and the Shattered Soulstone page about the website. Oh, where were those posted actually?
Community feedback, I believe.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, I've been reading them, but I don't know how to say. I'm like, yes, the website definitely needs updated. I get it. I know. I'm sorry. I went to school for the hardware aspect of computers. I missed my chance to do the software aspect as far as website building and design. I've got no clue what I'm doing. I have looked at the Shattered Soulstone website, which they mentioned was a WordPress website, and yeah, it's interesting, but I've got no idea how to work that. I could mess around with it a little bit, but I don't want to mess anything up. But here, like, because of that, I've been searching all week, like, all right, how much does it cost to, like, build a website? Or if I were to do it, I'd use something like Squarespace or something. That seems to be the cheaper route. But making a professional website, having somebody else do it for you, can cost anywhere between $400 to $10,000.
The what I've learned from the comic book shop, it's not worth it, because they paid a place like thousands of dollars to build a website to buy comics off of them online, right?
Uh huh.
Like they had to, like their side of it was they had to not photocopy, but like copy like every fucking like cover of every comic book, so they could put it on the web, so the company could put it on the website, right?
Mm.
And they it took them like a year to go through like the whole entire store and like copy every single like comic book.
Wow.
It went through a copier that they borrowed off of somebody, so they had to buy another copier for somebody because they broke the first one from wearing it out. And at
Wow.
and at the end of the day, they have no website.
Really?
I'm
What
like,
happened to it?
they just, I guess it was like it never came out right, and like they were always like behind, and it would go further and further behind, and then the guy basically just gave up because they just kept wanting more and more money, but they would never do anything.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, screw that.
And he spent thousands of dollars.
Wow. All
I'm
right,
just,
man. What?
I'm just, I'm trying to find, like if you went to the website and clicked on view source, you could get the HTML code for the website.
Oh, yeah. You know how to do that. I know how to like mess with I've messed with HTML, XML, and CSS before, but that's like I don't know, low end forum kind of design type deal, not like a full website. So I don't know.
Yeah, we don't need to build a website. We just need to change it a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember what the hell program I had on this computer that you could edit HTML software.
It could be two popular ones are was it Coffee Cup and what was the other one? And Dreamweaver.
I didn't have any of them. I had something else.
Okay.
Hmm. But I've been meaning to look at the website to see if I could do anything with it. But
Yeah.
I, but then I totally fucking forgot about it. Yeah, that's my fault on that one.
I mean, a lot of the stuff since it's a WordPress site thing. I mean, if you log into your account, like I'm logged into my account currently for my website, and there's or for the Jared Soulstone website. Um, like there's all kinds of tabs here and stuff, like appearance, themes, customize widgets, menus, all that stuff. Like you don't even really have to mess with the code. You can do it from here, but like when you click on these things, there are certain ones. What did I look at before? I don't know. I was trying to change something on it before, and it required some kind of code along with it to make it look right. And I don't know. I haven't messed with it since. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get off for now. Um, I'll definitely be on in the Discord. Well, maybe later tonight, but definitely during the week I'll be on. So
Alrighty.
hopefully I'll have a chance to play with you guys. So all right. Well, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for
Alrighty,
coming on
man.
the show. It was a good one.
Nope. No problem.
All right. See ya.
See ya.